Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of Disco Elysium on the PC. I mean, I don't know how much I can really, update you on the current state of our playthrough. We're still in the same block radius since we started, and we're still looking like this guy, and we're still alive, I guess. This is the current state of things. But we're gonna go check out this bookstore. Why? I don't know. Because we want to hear what every person in this game has to say. Look at all these things. Gift books and molten candy. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Jelmdal somewhere. Look through the display of books. Rows and rows of Jelmdalermen blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Jelmdal and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Jelmdal, Return to Jelmdal. And the solipsistic Man from Jelmdal and the Jelmdal Man. Good God, how many are there? Maybe 100. Man from Jelmdal and the Sages at the End of the World. Man from Jelmdal and the False God. Man from Jelmdal and the Scorched Earth. Man from Jelmdal, the Jelmdal Colonies. Man from Jelmdal and the Swamp Beast. Man from Jelmdal and the Snow Crabs. Is that all? Not even close! Man from Jelmdal in Hell. Man from Jelmdal in the Forest of Slaves. Man from Jelmdal under the lake. Man from Jelmdal, Jelmdal Burning. There's even the Trial of Death, a pasternal combat game book set in the world of Jelmdalermen, and so much more. Pain threshold. Do any of the books call out to me? A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eyes start twitching. What is it? Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Jelmdal. In chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Jelmdalermen lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Jelmdal and the Devil Woman. Aren't all women devil? No, I don't think I want to put that thought in my character's head. Interesting. And I can't afford to buy it. I have no money. Really gotta find a source of money. Storekeep, tell me about the Musselman books. Oh, Man from Jelmdal, a very popular series of adventure novels. She looks at the book with some disdain. They're awfully immoral and violent books. Why are they so popular? Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagine and nothing to do. Sounds good. Which one should I start with? What does it matter? They're all the same. She rolls her eyes, then fiddles with her pendant. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Jelmdalerman, the Man from Jelmdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series. Yeah, we gotta get some fucking money, man. A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Whirl-related merchandise. Look through the pile of Whirl-related items. An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katuek, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a pick-your-path adventure game book titled Tales of Whirl, Cavern of Velcrag. Books in a board game section. Who wants to read books? Anything that really catches my eye? There's a box that says Whirl, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastic adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real. That price is steep, but then it's a 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplement, so it makes sense. Storekeep, what board games do you have here? Wonderful board game, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure. There is a board game called Viticulture, which is quite popular. Or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insolent, a very educational game for those interested in geography. There's a game called Archipelago, but it's not educational. Braubritter is a fun game of economic competition. It can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. Fun game of economic competition gets intense after a while. I don't know. Monopoly? Those can get pretty intense. Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family? Do I have friends? Are you actually friends or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance? Yes, kids, friends, chicks. I have all those. Then you're a lucky man, officer. Children are the greatest of treasures. She fiddles with her pendant, thinking. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real. That sounds awesome. What about all these whirl things? Lousy auras there, she shudders. No role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all. Heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though. She looks at the table, crossing her arms. It's crazy, man. It's just crazy nowadays to think about a few decades ago. The mainstream opinion of D&D and stuff was that it was just devil worshipping. Crazy shit. And now you have like Game of Thrones being the biggest show on television. Old sports magazines tucked away in a dark corner. Book collects the national recipes of Arda. They're all about lake trout. Arda? Little bit of Middle Earth there.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
Plaisance. The clerk extends a greeting.
Be welcome. And please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber. Before we go on, you seem to be well off enough. Can you give me some money? I feel there won't be an opportune moment to ask later. Jesus. I mean, I want money, but come on. We gotta do better than that. Curious pendant you're wearing.
Oh yes. Helps to have an anchor in these times.
Clutches the pendant and narrows her eyes as well. So, are you the owner of this store?
I am. The proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Her voice is high-pitched, as if to give it more penetration. She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach to attracting new customers. It doesn't work. Your daughter's the one who's standing outside the store, right? Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Yes, of course. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Yes. Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store. Could say I'm not going to grade a human being. I don't know if that really would change her mind about anything, so we'll say 10. She's certainly very polite and helpful. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. She's immensely satisfied with the answer. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. All this pressure has made her really anxious. You know she's been chewing her nails? God, ugh, I told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. Her voice is firm. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life. Part of hers, too, clearly. I don't think she can do anything about it. She can if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks. Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You're placing an unnecessary burden on a young child. What you're doing is wrong. Even I know that, and I usually don't know anything. She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. This is a person coming to terms with a new reality, one where they are wrong. It's not easy. That's... God. A lot of people could do with that. She's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole. All of a sudden, she exhales sharply. Her shoulders slump down. Oh no, she mutters. Hold on, I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. That's amazing, man. That she actually, like, listened to us. I feel like if you tried to tell someone in our America something like that, they would just start screaming at you and swearing. And, like... Oh, can picture it in my head. There, she returns with a nod. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. Oh my God, no American would ever admit this. All this stress. She stops, but her mouth keeps moving. It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette. You're like Annette to your husband and your mother. Oh, she nudges her glasses nervously. Well, my mother was horrible, of course. Absolutely perverse energies around that person, but my husband, she shakes her head. My husband is completely different. Of course. Is this husband Annette's father? Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here, she says gloomily. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Curon. Grand Curon? What's that? It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighborhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. Her smile is wide. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead, for sure. And your husband's also involved with the bookstore? He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner. Super silent. Almost inaudibly so. She an only child? Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... She pauses for a second. No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy. Why not? We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Her voice wavers a bit. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand. She catches herself in an impoliteness. I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand. She told me she doesn't go to school anymore. Plaisance nods. She's been too busy helping me here, so she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off. And hell freezes over? Never mind, it's not a good topic to get into. Alright. What if I want to buy a book? And why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? She fiddles with her pendant, then waves her bony fingers directly at you. See those shelves there? Go, be drawn. What type of books do you have? Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. She nudges her glasses. The shelves compel you, don't they? She's attempting to mentally direct you toward the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about books. Do you even know what books you have for sale? She scoffs. Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's all very literary stuff with well-written prose. But you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories. Shouldn't a storekeeper know about her wares? I provide a valuable service. As long as people buy books, I'm fine. She wiggles her bony fingers at you. Where do you learn about the important things then? The truth is available if you just know where to look, and if you have to open and free your mind to understand. She nods at you cryptically. Okay, we have to, like, rescue this daughter. Oh my God, I finally completed a thought. Holy shit. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district, then past the video rental store in the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house, no larger than a matchbox, 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone, and so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now. Learning cap for perception raised to 5. Speed gives 1 sigh. What does that even mean? No, really, what does that mean? Speed gives 1 sigh. What is speed? The drug? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's go talk to the daughter again.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
You just can't win. Out of the rain and into the gutter. What are you doing now? Math. She looks into her notebook with trepidation. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Suddenly she smiles and perks up, remembering something. Oh, I found something while you were away. What is it? I thought this would fit you. She gives you a hat, almost exactly like the one Dick Mullen wears on the covers. Like a thanks for helping out. Not me, the city, I mean. Like a detective does. Where did you get it? Just what Dick Mullen would ask. She lowers her voice. Got it from behind the curtains. Not really supposed to go there. It's a fedora? Maybe? It's the hat Dick Mullen wears all the time. She grins with joy. You'll look way more serious with that. Suddenly she looks back at the infernal scribblings under her nose. Right, I have to get back to my homework now, before Mom notices. Man, this is hard. Oh man, we got a fucking fedora. Oh! +1 encyclopedia? If anything, this wide-rimmed hat looks even better than the hat Dick Mullen wears. Dick Mullen is stupid and not even real. You're real. Your brain is real. Your real brain is inside the hat. Oh man, yes! We look like a dick now. The shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. Look through the display of books. Crime fiction is a disgrace, an asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes and the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of the books found on the shelf? Sure thing. You see Dick Mullen on the Job, Get Me Mullen, The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen, Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard, The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen. A Killing is Declared, Dick Mullen in the Murder House, The Final Case of Dick Mullen, an obvious lie, Dick Mullen in the Clock Tower, The Ordeals of Dick Mullen, Dauntless Dick, Dick Mullen's Funeral Pyre, The Murder of Dick Mullen. Dick Mullen dies? Oh no, it turns out he faked it to solve a case. Okay, are there any more? Yes, there's also The Dame Who Did It. Farewell, My Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The Morbid Tales of Dick Mullen. A Dark Tide Turns. Tragedy Calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Okay. No. Your attempt to grasp the answer fails. It seems very close by, pulsating just out of reach. What's all this crime fiction? Oh, crime, robberies, murders. She lowers her voice. Even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective. Note, reading about Dick Mullen will not actually make you a better detective. Okay, noted. But I got to say Dick a lot. A quaint picture book brochure, very colorful. It's a tome of fascist magic, rather candid. Everyone knows the most interesting thing about fascist was their magic. The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell. Look through the books. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob and Alfie Delatraz by one Cecilia Averbrook. What's it about? High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Ur's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Next to that, Ravacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days. I really must insist you buy one of the books. You're interrupted by the shopkeep. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long. She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately corrects course. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce. Anything of note in this show? I would say the woman hums to herself. The greatest innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentric power. Who or what is an innocence? A very influential historical figure, but surely I don't have to tell you that. She waves her hand as if casting aside the thought. You're a law officer. Law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentric system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. So you recommend it? Certainly. It's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise. You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside. Ooh. Unfortunately, I can't buy anything. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulind, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. Hey, Insulind? This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots in the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is Le Caillou. You are here. Another, far away in the southwest, Semines Islands, Ile des Fantômes. What else? Ozone, Laurentide, Face à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, in a bookstore. It's you. Squint first. Can you see cities on the islands? You can. On Caillou, Revachol, a single black star. On Ozone, Fond de l'Air, and Vermandoux. On Archipelagos, Croyant Morin, Villiers, on Semenine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deor of the Seven Seas. Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. 850 million people live on these little dots, an oceanic world of culture and commerce, torn apart by history. Look at the edges. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Mundi is the north azimuth, Grad is the northeast azimuth, Samara is the east azimuth, Sol is the west azimuth, Isolas they're called. Connections to other worlds, worlds past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. Ooh, I failed an impossible check. Damn. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust. Okay, Revachol. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the river Esperant. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East. And west of the river? Courant. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Faubourg. It's almost as bad and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst. And Martinez. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the greater Revachol Industrial Harbor. Looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have, but it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. You're still alive. Look at the map of Martinez. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbor, even the whirling in rags there. Storekeep, can I buy these maps? I'm sorry, officer, the map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. Besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though. Though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. Why is the one of Martinez so cheap? That old thing? It's not an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps. The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it? What happened then? They didn't get far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. It would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business. So I could try to steal it. But I'm a cop. That's really... Especially 90 cents. Come on. I'm gonna buy it. Always good to be informed of your surroundings. We got it, baby. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. These three things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. How does that work? It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to and which costs more than this book, is garbage and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. Wow. Jesus. Does the book say anything else? The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And there's even a chapter on the ancient Saraís tradition of using duck gallbladder, preservatives, to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this? Alright, let's find something truly otherworldly. The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pale. What's the pale? The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted. What's this book about? The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pale, also known as literature. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik, or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pale. Sounds painful. It is supposedly invigorating and good for the circulation. What else? It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pail. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pail and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired. And what does this pale-aged liquor do? Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health. It seems improbable. Should probably get my hands on some of that. What else is there? For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pail, though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need. This sounds like an SCP. Anything else of note? There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations. I probably need that. Excuse me, sir. I believe you've been perusing that particular volume long enough. If you'd like to continue reading, I must insist you buy it. What books are these? Sir, please, no browsing on that shelf. She narrows her eyes. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no. What the fuck? Leave. Another boring book, just discarded here. Okay. I'm gonna spend like this entire video inside one building. That's insane. See a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtain.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtains? Nothing. Now please go back to browsing books. She fiddles with her pendant. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about. She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. Examine the strange cage-like trinket. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straws. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. From the looks of it, this is a traditional Seminese ward meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges. And who are the Seminese? Inhabitants of Ile-de-Fantôme, the Seminine Islands down south. Aside from poking at it, suspiciously, there's nothing else to do with that fish head charm at this time. Curtains remain shut before you. Pull 'em open, baby! Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, a petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Her hand is closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous. Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. Yeah, that sounds good. She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. It'll only make things worse and unleash the powers. This is about the curse? That's why you're afraid? No, it's just a storeroom for the employees. I told you. Now please step away from the curtains. She's almost begging you. But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold. You do? She grabs her pendant again, visibly shaken. My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. Yeah, I'm gonna open them. No! She raises her hand to try and stop you. Please, just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme. Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. Curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you. Alright, I'll talk to her. Maybe she'll give me money not to open them. That's what a good cop does.
Esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side. I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books. She recites it like it's a poem, or like she's playing a role she's grown tired of. Why are you still talking about books? Are you trying to put a spell on me? A spell, as if, she snorts. This place doesn't need any spells or hoodoo mumbo jumbo. This place has wonderful energy. She wavers under your gaze, mouth pressed into a tight-lipped smile. Then something breaks. Okay, fine. It's because this place is cursed, just like everyone said. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything? She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant. Take it easy. You've broken her resistance. Pushing her further will gain nothing. How does this curse manifest itself? Shiver runs through the woman as she looks around in the dimly lit store. The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease eating at the very foundation. Her voice drops to a whisper. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. She peers at the curtains again. Didn't that curtain just move? I'm a little confused. What does that mean? Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have sooner or later declared bankruptcy, and their malicious spirits are still here, feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here. Sounds familiar. Strange, I feel unwanted too. What does it mean? Truly so? Her eyes narrow as she tries to get a read on your energy. Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous. Why didn't you just tell me right away it's the curse? It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism. She shivers. It's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them. Wow, void wraiths. You have new words. Have you sought help from anyone? Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Seminoles mediators. They provided me with the wards. She nods at the strange cage-like trinket on the curtains. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough. Is your pendant part of the wards as well? Oh, this? She holds the pendant in her palm. Its ochre heart glistens under the lights. No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. She nods. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%. Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people. Doesn't seem like the spell is working. There are no customers around except you. There are hardly any customers in the store. Do you think it's really working? She nudges her spectacles. Sir, I'm well educated in the commercial and esoteric arts. I know what to do and what to avoid. Maybe you should try to reconceptualize your business. Martinez doesn't look like the best place for a bookshop. She stands silent for a second before exhaling sharply. You're right. A bookstore wasn't even my original plan. I actually wanted to sell esoteric paraphernalia to help to balance out this neighborhood's dark energies. Great idea. What happened? My husband suggested otherwise. He said it's less stupid, more appropriate, cultured and all that. But being cultured doesn't offer any protection against the curse, does it? She looks around in the dusty store. Maybe I shouldn't have listened to him after all. Would you like me to take the case? I could investigate, see if the curse is real. Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be so they can return to their slumber. My liege, you know what this case calls for. A para-detective. Yes, 97%, baby. Convince her to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. Nice. Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like. Ma'am, I came here to help. I've handled paranatural situations before. Are you sure? She looked skeptical. Don't think haven't seen charlatans before. I returned from the void, a para-detective from a long line of para-detectives. You're no para-detective. You look nothing like one, and you're clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so blunt, but you look like one. The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook. Go ahead then. Rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some note. I admit I've had my share of drinks, but only because the spectral realm is parapsychologically taxing. How do you know all this? Here we go. Your wards brought me here in the first place. The Seminese blood also runs through me. You're part Seminese? Oh, it means our meeting couldn't have been mere chance. The hand of fate guides us. But I'm not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us, keep us safe. I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us. No problem whatsoever. Your family is safe. The phantoms are no match for me. She shuffles nervously. If you promise, good officer, then. She pauses. You might be our last hope. Do you swear it? Hand on your heart. On my honor. Thank you, sir. A timid sigh of relief followed by a cautious smile. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity. Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire. Of course, the entity. For I have sensed its presence. You have? She gasps. The entity takes the form of a woman. A witch, probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney? Chimney. The passage between heaven and hell, of course. Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She's barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. She shivers. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked around. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there. Unbelievable darkness and ruin. What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared. Yeah, let's get in there. Let's see what's up. Pull the curtains open. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen. Small, terrified, oh, escapes from Plaisance. She tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. This is no problem for a detective like me. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdryers. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. Merely looking at that unmanly haircut threatens your masculinity. A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Unlock it. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room. Kim, maybe you should go first. Detective, you're the one in charge. The lieutenant motions toward the door. Alright, let's do it. Oh, workout room. Oh, and he has something to say.
What is this place?
Lieutenant stares at the dusty training equipment. Looks like a gym to me. Yes, but no one's been here in ages. He draws a stripe on the dusty floor with his foot. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on. An eerie feeling rises in your chest. Let's just keep going. I'm sure it's just a regular abandoned house. Nothing mysterious here. Sounds good. Alright, let's throw the flashlight into our offhand. Actually, no, we'll put that in that hand, and we'll put that there. Shot put ball. 450. Yeah. Poster says Citius Fortis. The rest is worn off. Barbell lies on the floor, colors worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar? It's a legendary check. Look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars on the barbell. You're right, the weights might fall off. Better not touch it then. What kind of bastard would just remove the collars? It should be a felony. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore. Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter? No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. It's just a memory. Memory from another life, when you were young and fit. I'm certainly not going to lift it. Worn out wall bars. They look unsafe. Always blocked by old window panes and debris. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of blades. Oh, money! Hell yeah. A naked mannequin torso, a strange yellow color. Dude, we just got paid. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing is faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. Okay, drawings. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic, translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona, no longer a mere man, but a welkin. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. Examine the welkin. This is important. It's Varahamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged. The Holdur, the Dwerg, humans, and even the headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all. The lieutenant can't help but comment. An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures. One of them is a welkin supremacist. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too. Kim nods at the welkin's facial hair. Why would anyone spend so much time on this? Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. This has been educational. Let's move on from the welkins. Just look at those details. So much effort. For what? All gone. Inspect the photos. Photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees groaning under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers by boreal Dwerg. Yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The Heat Death Scenario." A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe. The schedule. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily mini-me, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. Mini-me stands for a mini-meaty. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN Station 41. Tried to implement it a few... Oh, part of it I missed. Okay. For managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed. Okay, keep reading. What happened? As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region. The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothing and concludes, looks like they didn't make it. A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, see the production schedule filament for details. Inspect the notes. Handwriting is only partly legible, but we can still make out 3 slogans. Call in, tune out, Wirral untethered, and heat death of the universe. Alright. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer. Radio computer, says the lieutenant, watching you circle around the machine. Just sitting here without anyone in sight. He sounds surprised and a bit cautious. Do you think I should turn it on? We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it. Turn it on. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open. Look inside the compartment. It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left tangling, disconnected. This is where the memory should go, Lieutenant notes, observing the machine. Press play. Nothing happens. Let's play again. Nothing happens. Again. How many times can we do it? Okay. Press print. Okay. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth bitten. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric. The whole thing resembles Kedron mosaic tiles, very pedantic. Hold on, how do I know what Kedron mosaic tiles are supposed to look like? History class. Students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those coral blue tiles look beautiful in the sun. What am I looking at? Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic. Radio frequencies for what? Unclear. Looks like a cardiovascular system, split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. We're dealing with something medical here? You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Who's the Game Master? Someone very important. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency. If it's a game, then who's playing? Whoever decides to call into a call-in station, it looks like. All of this is gone, left unrealized. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off. My God, the lieutenant leans closer, his finger tracking the maddening rhizome. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. Why do you say that? The schedule. He nods at the calendar on the chalkboard, wiping his marker-stained fingers clean. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding. What else? Nothing. It's just lines on marble, an echo from times long agone. No one has used the fireplace in ages. Alright. Oh, he's got something to say again. Scribbled across a notebook. Developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. Bethesda?
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Just a failed business. The only question is, what the hell were they making? Yes, that is the question. The lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people were trying to automate it. Make it work on radio computers. Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment. How are they planning to do that? Through call-in stations. He nods at the fireplace. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts. Has anyone ever done this before? Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Königstein, places with industry. Not in Revachol West, among the ruins. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an Intersolare, I don't fucking, what? Parasolare game before. We don't have the technology. And this was a role-playing game? Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. He points to the chalkboard. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the Wirral board game, with heat death thrown in. Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished. What do you think happened to the company? No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Wow. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but Lieutenant tilts his head, thinking. World is cold and lonely. This would keep it company. Let's finish it. A half smile breaks out on his face. It's too late for that, I'm afraid, he says, looking around in the derelict room. Pipes howl and a rat crosses the floor. Okay, he concludes. Let's keep moving. We will keep moving, but next time. We're going to leave it off here for now. Crazy game, man. Crazy game. There's so much fucking text in this game, and it's all so good. It's nuts! My name is Mangg. Gaming watching has been... Oh, I didn't realize my flashlight followed the cursor. That's awesome. And the shadows, that's cool. Gaming watching has been Disco Elysium. I'll see you fine folks in the next part.